I have to share with you one of the most important books that I am reading this year. So I've decided that the only mentor I'm keeping this year is my business coach that I've had for like over a decade. But your mentor doesn't need to be somebody that you spend $10,000 or $20,000 a month. It could, or a year. It could actually be a book. It could be somebody that you're listening to that is in your ear. I had Joe Dispenza in my ear for 2 years in the past. Now I have Kevin Trudeau in my ear for this year. So I've already committed to this being my number one mentor. I had Melanie Ann Lair in my ear for 2 years, last 2 years. And so like I have different mentors coming in and out of my life all the time. But this guy right now is really just putting all of the pieces together. One thing that I absolutely loved about Dr. Joe Dispenza is that he really helped me understand the science behind why I'm sitting down to meditate and who I need to be when I get up from my meditation. It really helped me put some missing pieces together and scientifically, like in a way that my brain can understand, because I really need to understand the why in some instances in order for me to take that action to do things differently. Kevin Trudeau is another person who is really explaining the why behind manifesting. And, you know, we've grown up reading books like Think and Grow Rich. We've seen What the Bleep Do We Know? We've read, The Secret, watched the movie, all of these things, right? And most of us are pretty damn good manifestors anyway. One thing that I've noticed is that the older I get, the bigger my dreams become, the greater my desires. And when your dreams become bigger, you need to be able to hold a bigger container for these dreams to come true, right? Even though the way that I manifested my husband, my twin flame, the way that I manifested this house in Portugal, the way that we manifested the money to build it, the way that we've manifested, everything in our lives so far is not any different than how we're manifesting the next 10x version of ourselves. However, the person that I get to become in the journey of 10xing has to also change and evolve and to be able to hold this greater container. So I love to up level, and I love studying the intricacies of really manifesting my dreams into reality. And this next push or reception is very different. And different in terms of the scale of this manifestation. So my 10x version of me is to become the person who can hold a container of $10 million in revenue every single year. This 10x version of me, who has already manifested the current house that we have, is manifesting a monastery or a castle that will be renovated in hemp, that is also a church that is immune to FDA or certain types of regulations so that we can truly heal and have a compounding pharmacy and be able to create the type of medicine that we need to without government telling us what we can and cannot do. So these visions, I have absolutely no freaking clue how it's going to manifest. But the me that is manifesting it has to believe without a shadow of a doubt, with absolute certainty, that because this dream was given to me, it is meant for me to manifest with the co-creation of God and Mother Nature and the universe and other alliances that also share a similar vision. I don't need to know how. One thing I've learned when I lived in Arizona and I manifested living at the Optima for 2 years during the recession, when I had absolutely no clue how it was going to happen, but I used to come out of Fashion Square Mall and I used to drive by the Optima and I used to say, I kid you not, in these exact words, I don't know how and I don't care how, but one day I'm going to live there. And that's how I manifested so many things in my life. And so again, I don't know how and I don't care how, but one day I will be earning $10 million a year and I will be living in this 40-room boutique wellness hotel. I don't care how, I don't care when, but every day I wake up in inspired action and I ask God, what is it that you want me to do today? Yesterday, I was driving to the gym and I was talking to God about how serious I am about my manifestations coming true. And God's like, Izzy, serious? Seriously? Stop kidding yourself. For the longest time, I've been asking you to wake up at 5 a.m. I've been asking you to come talk to me. I've been asking you to do this one very simple thing. Until you wake up at 5 a.m. consecutively, at least do it for this week. Until you do that, don't talk to me about being serious about your dreams coming true. You want these luxuries in life, yet you're not willing to sacrifice your comfort right now. Because I take my sleep really seriously and I go in and out of needing to sleep a lot versus whatever, right? But I've been given these clear instructions. And this morning I woke up at 5 a.m., but tomorrow, times 7 days, you know what I mean? It's really about the longevity, the repetition, and my word for 2026 is devotion. Devotion to my craft, devotion to birthing my project, devotion to God, devotion to my family, devotion to my rituals and my sacred practices, devotion to my house and making it even more homey, devotion to refining my style, devotion to the way that I show up, devotion to the content creation, devotion to my journey, right? So like devotion is the word, my word for the year. And I'm really excited and I'm walking into unknown territory, uncharted waters, and every day is a devotion to this practice.